Imagine growing up inside a world that never turns off. Imagine learning who you are through an avatar before understanding yourself. Imagine being connected to everyone yet deeply alone. This is why it truly sucks to be a Roblox kid. A Roblox kid doesn't grow up only at home, at school, or in the neighborhood. He grows up inside a digital ecosystem that is always available and always responsive. From an early age, play, reward, and identity blend into a single experience. The platform becomes a space where rules feel clearer than real life. Feedback arrives instantly, without ambiguity or delay. Success is measurable, visible, and immediate. Failure is reversible with a single reset. The digital world feels predictable in ways the real world is not. There is always something to do, somewhere to go, someone to interact with. Control feels attainable there. Comfort forms early and quietly, and the platform begins shaping him before he notices. At 6 years old, the Roblox kid discovers a place where his size and age don't limit him. He creates an avatar before he fully understands his own body or emotions. He chooses colors, clothes, names, and abilities that feel empowering. Adults describe it as harmless fun, something temporary. But for him, it feels like agency and freedom. Inside the game, he is not slow, weak, or dependent. He can build worlds, destroy obstacles, and restart without punishment. Mistakes don't follow him. Embarrassment doesn't linger. No one laughs at him face to face. Safety feels digital and reliable, and the screen becomes a refuge. By 10 years old, the Roblox kid understands systems deeply. He knows how to grind efficiently. He learns how to optimize actions for better rewards. He observes what works and copies it without hesitation. Value is communicated through in-game currency and rare items. Status becomes visible through skins and achievements. Respect is earned through performance, not presence. Online interactions begin to matter more than classroom ones. Reactions from strangers feel more intense than silence from peers. Friendships form quickly and dissolve just as fast. Attachment becomes conditional and temporary. Attention becomes something to chase. Over time, the avatar stops being just a character on a screen. It becomes an extension of identity, stronger, more confident, and more expressive than real life allows. The Roblox kid starts preferring this version of himself. Real life feels slower and less responsive by comparison. Mistakes carry consequences offline. Effort doesn't always lead to reward. The avatar listens when the world doesn't. The avatar responds when people don't. Logging in feels like expansion. Logging out feels like shrinking. The mask becomes safer than the face behind it. Hanging out starts meaning joining a server rather than meeting someone. Being invited becomes equivalent to being accepted. Rejection feels like being ignored or kicked from a game. There is no gradual closeness, only connection or disconnection. Conflict is resolved by leaving rather than confronting. Silence is solved by switching servers. Discomfort is avoided instantly. Emotions are interrupted rather than processed. Other people feel interchangeable. So does the Roblox kid himself. Relationships lack depth by design. Connection becomes functional instead of emotional. The Roblox kid learns to measure worth through visible metrics. Levels, ranks, items, and achievements become signals of value. Progress is always quantified. Validation is always public. Comparison becomes constant and unavoidable. Self-esteem starts attaching itself to performance. Winning feels good, but briefly. Losing feels personal and frustrating. There is always someone ahead, always something missing. Satisfaction never lasts long. The chase never ends. When real life becomes confusing or emotionally overwhelming, Roblox feels manageable. Homework has consequences that linger. Games offer retries without judgment. Real emotions are unpredictable. Games follow consistent logic. Effort in-game usually leads to reward. Effort in life often does not. So escape becomes a coping mechanism, not out of laziness, but out of a need for clarity. Control feels calming. Structure feels reassuring. Reality begins to feel hostile by comparison. Offline life starts to feel inefficient and frustrating. People talk slowly and indirectly. Rules feel vague and inconsistent. Feedback arrives late or not at all. Waiting becomes unbearable. Patience erodes quietly. Boredom becomes painful rather than neutral. The Roblox kid struggles to sit still. Silence feels empty instead of restful. Focus fragments easily. Attention spans shorten. The real world feels understimulating and dull. The Roblox Kid experiments with identity constantly. Different avatars, roles, names, and styles appear and disappear. None of them stay long enough to root deeply. Identity becomes modular and flexible, easily replaced when inconvenient. Depth is traded for adaptability. Consistency feels unnecessary. Commitment feels heavy and restrictive. Self-expression becomes fragmented. Reflection feels optional. The self never fully settles. Everything stays provisional. Online friendships feel real in the moment. They share victories, losses, and time together, but they disappear suddenly and without explanation. There is no closure, only absence. The Roblox Kid learns not to ask why. Attachment starts to feel inefficient. Care becomes risky. Emotional investment feels optional. This mindset carries into real life. Distance becomes the default response. Connection feels unstable. Trust feels fragile. Roblox trains quick reactions rather than slow reflection. Anger is muted by quitting a game. Sadness is muted by switching servers. Frustration is avoided rather than faced. Emotions never get time to settle. They are constantly interrupted. This prevents emotional digestion. The Roblox Kid feels many things intensely, but understands very little about them. Feelings pass quickly, meaning never forms. Emotional growth stalls quietly. Adults often see Roblox as harmless entertainment, a distraction or a reward. They don't see identity forming inside it. They don't see coping mechanisms developing. They don't see avoidance turning into habit. The Roblox Kid feels misunderstood. Conversations remain shallow. Concern arrives late. Guidance feels disconnected from experience. Trust erodes slowly. Distance grows at home as well. Isolation becomes layered. In Roblox, failure resets instantly. In life, it does not. Mistakes linger. Consequences stay visible. The Roblox Kid struggles with this transition. Failure feels heavier than expected. Embarrassment feels permanent. Resilience is underdeveloped. Quitting feels easier than enduring. Avoidance becomes strategy. Growth slows down. Fear quietly increases. The Roblox Kid becomes adaptable and fast, technically skilled and system-oriented, comfortable navigating digital environments, but emotionally cautious. He understands interfaces better than faces, rules better than feelings. He survives by switching contexts, by logging out, by avoiding discomfort. Strength develops unevenly. Some areas grow fast, others lag behind. He never learned how to sit with boredom, or with unresolved discomfort, or with lingering emotion. He never learned deep patience, or delayed gratification, or slow trust. He learned speed and efficiency, replacement and optimization. These work online, but fail offline. The gap becomes painful and confusing. The Roblox Kid grows up connected but ungrounded, skilled but fragmented, confident online, uncertain offline. He learned control through systems rather than through self. He learned identity through avatars instead of reflection. He learned escape before endurance. None of this makes him weak. It makes him adapted to the wrong environment. Now the real world feels harder, slower, less forgiving, and that is why it truly sucks to be a Roblox Kid.